我们也能够让台湾的这个糖业的历史，它深入我们的社会，在我们的文化的成长过程当中也是非常重要的一部分，能够让国外的人更清楚。那借这个机会，我们也希望能够跨出台湾，更了解其他国家的这个糖业或者是相关的窄轨的这些铁路的一些文化。所以最后呢，我要预祝我们这一次的这个糖铁机车头国际论坛呢圆满成功，在座的各位呢阖家平安，万事顺利，谢谢大家。
再次感谢我们台湾糖业公司黄根煌董事长 ，Special thanks for Chairperson Charles Huang Thai Sugar Corporation. Thank you. 紧接着呢，我们特别来邀请，这是来自英国的贵宾，这是英国威尔普兰菲尔新轨保存有限公司的安德鲁查曼董事，好，欢迎他。Let's have a hand to welcome Mr. Andrew Charman, Marketing and Publicity Director of Welsh Poor and Landfill Light Railway. Thank you. 掌声鼓励，谢谢。
Good morning.
Good morning.
On behalf of the Chairman, the members and the staff of the Welsh Poor and Landfill Light Railway, I bring you greetings from Wales in the United Kingdom. We are delighted and honoured both to be invited to attend the Sugar Festival and for our locomotive Dougal to be playing such a major part in the event. Dougal is by far our smallest steam locomotive, but also a favourite among many of our members and our visitors, especially the young people. And we hope during the next few days that the locomotive will become a favourite with visitors to the festival. We would like to take this opportunity to thank the Taiwan Sugar Corporation, and in particular its chairman Charles Huang, for both organising the festival and the excellent hospitality accorded to us. It is much appreciated. Personally, this is my first time visiting Taiwan, and in the short time I have been here, I've been very gratified by the friendship and the hospitality shown to me, and I've been absolutely blown away by your wonderful country. It is, for me, the trip of a lifetime. Both myself and Mr. Riley are greatly looking forward to the festival and to the signing ceremony tomorrow, which we are sure will be the start of a long and close relationship between the Welsh Poor and Landfill Light Railway and the Taiwan Sugar Corporation. We wish the festival every success. We are sure it will be a memorable event for all involved. Thank you.
特别感谢英国威尔普兰菲尔新轨保存有限公司的安德鲁查曼董事哦。那么为了让大家的时间是更为的节省，请大家转到第一频道是中文的翻译好。紧接着我们特别邀请到来自法国的贵宾 ，Next one going to have the VIPs from France。我们特别呢来邀请，这是法国皮蒂维耶交通博物馆，这是约翰保罗巴伦斯董事。Let's have a hand to welcome Jean-Paul Ballas, Board Manager, Positive Transportation Museum, France. Thank you.
Bonjour à tous et merci pour votre accueil à Taïwan. C'est la première fois que j'ai le plaisir de visiter votre pays et je remercie Taiwan Sugar Corporation pour cette invitation qui a été organisée autour de la présence du locomoteur Diema qui roule sur le chemin de fer touristique de Pithiviers. Je suis Jean-Paul Balancy, je suis membre du conseil d'administration de l'association du musée des transports de Pithiviers, qui est le premier chemin de fer touristique français qui a roulé sur une ligne qui cessait son service commercial en 1966. Donc au travers de cet échange, j'avoue que je suis très heureux de participer. J'espère que nous aurons de très bonnes relations pour pouvoir, si vous le souhaitez, pouvoir profiter de nos expériences respectives et développer vos activités de tourisme. Je suis également membre de la fédération française qui s'appelle UNECTO, qui fédère l'ensemble, la très grande majorité des chemins de fer touristiques en France. Et donc, c'est au nom de l'ensemble des chemins de fer touristiques que je tenais à vous remercier. Je suis accompagné dans cette délégation de mon ami Cyril Okidan, qui aura le plaisir de vous parler tout à l'heure de son expérience le rotateur Diema 185. Et donc, je vous souhaite à tous une très bonne conférence et beaucoup d'échanges fructueux. Je vous remercie.
谢谢。特别谢谢我们的大国的代表。紧接着呢，我们特别来邀请的是日本河北町中央公园的代表武田敏夫先生。Let's have a come to welcome Kakarera Toshio， 这是 Kachuku Central Park Japan， 掌声欢迎，谢谢。
你好。
哇 ，Welcome， 你好。
一言ご挨拶を申し上げます。私は日本映画おしんのふるさと山形から来ました。大変にありがとうございます。2018年の東京の文化祭の開催、誠におめでとうございます。また、その一環として、機関車国際フォーラムを開催なさります。私は大変に喜んでおります。私としては、32年前に台湾東京さんから本当に347の蒸気機関車をお譲りいただきました。そのご恩返しとして、私は今日はその347の蒸気機関車が日本の国の河北省で年6回運行しますが、可愛い子どもさんが喜んでおります。そのことを今日は発表したいと思います。また、先月の11月の14日から18日まで、私たちの佐藤山形市長が台南市を友好のために訪れました。その時に台南の市役所の前に遊戯山形市という大きな看板を掲げていただきます。歓迎の挨拶をしていただきます。大変にありがとうございます。これからは台湾と日本が本当に友好を持って仲良くして、そしていいバンドだけでなくてアウトバンドもして、そうしていきたいなと思っております。今日はお招きをいただきまして大変にありがとうございました。谢谢。
再次感谢武田敏夫先生。下午呢，也看到我们进行活用蒸汽火车来进行城镇发展的一个分享再次的感谢，谢谢。紧接着呢，我们最后一个小段落，我们邀请大家呢当舞唱频道的贵宾，也请您挥挥手。那么我们介绍所有的与会贵宾之后，我们就要进行我们第一阶段的论坛了那么刚刚已经介绍过的，这是我们的活动的主办，这是台湾糖业股份有限公司黄玉娟黄董事长，董事长再次欢迎您，谢谢。紧接着呢，就是英国威尔普兰菲尔新维保险有限公司麦瑞里 Michael Riley，welcome。接着就是英国威尔普兰菲尔新维保险有限公司的安德鲁查曼董事 Andrew please， 接着介绍是法国皮蒂维耶交通博物馆张梦巴罗斯董事 ，Next 是法国皮蒂维耶交通博物馆工程师西里欧奇，欢迎，谢谢。日本远清品玩赖部森林公园小玉浩史先生 ，welcome。以及日本河北省中央公园武田敏夫夫妇，欢迎，谢谢。来自我们就是嘉义县文化观光局的徐友仁许局长，刚刚也有莅临谢谢。紧接着呢，就是文化部文化资产局，包含了我们的蔡一美蔡科长，还有温祝玲温科员，欢迎。以及介绍的是林务局阿里山林业铁路及文化资产管理处黄妙修黄处长，欢迎。ASP 伟国国际股份有限公司的是糖业文化节的总顾问林义平林顾问，欢迎。这是我们台湾铁路管理局林志平林副总工程师，欢迎。继续介绍，这是我们台湾历史博物馆林崇熙林馆长，欢迎。这是我们文化部文化资产局张仁吉张副局长，欢迎。紧接着介绍，这是我们劳动部劳动力发展署苏义照苏厂长，欢迎。继续欢迎中华民国铁道文化协会徐乃义许监事，欢迎。亚太遗产铁道暨旅游组织谢林勋谢副主席，欢迎。今天我们介绍的是我们台南永康国小我们的黄彦硕黄老师， 们也有精彩的分享哦。紧接着就是群力管理有限公司简嘉宏简顾问，欢迎。以及我们铁道文化研究联谊社杜荣昌杜会长，欢迎会长。我们标准的铁道迷哦，火车邮票俱乐部铁路邮刊我们的主编魏耀林魏主编，欢迎。陈其中建筑师事务所的陈其中建筑师，欢迎。中华民国铁道文化协会许兆新许会长，欢迎。新小牛顿少年牛顿杂志发行人黄崇成黄发行人，欢迎。正头农场工厂村黄江正黄村长，欢迎。以及台北市中山社区大学罗文德罗老师，欢迎。国立高雄师范大学工业设计学系及研究所林东龙林副教授，欢迎。以及介绍就是开南大学交通运输学系王迪昌教授，欢迎。以及我们许多台糖公司的代表再次感谢。那么今天的开幕仪式是顺利圆满又成功哦。马上呢，我们就要进行我们第一个节次我们的论坛。我们特别呢，掌声来欢迎我们的 keynote speaker， 这是 From World to Wealth, the Wealth School and the Landfair Light Railway。掌声来欢迎我们的主持人以及我们的领台人、引言人。首先介绍引言人，这是劳动部劳动力发展署苏一照厂长。同时呢，我们也邀请我们的安格鲁查曼董事来做一个语谈的分享，掌声欢迎，谢谢。
董事长，各位与会的嘉宾还有各位来自各地方的铁道迷，大家好。我是劳动部劳动力发展署北基花金马分署的一个宜兰职业训练场的厂长。那因为我本身这个工作的跟我们糖业铁路是没有什么关系啦，不过因为我本身是喜欢铁路，所以呢今天也厚着脸皮来参加这个我们的这引言。那其实呢，我们在座各位应该很多都对我们这个糖业铁路呢都相当的了解。那不过呢，在开始介绍我们这个Westport and Landfair 这个铁路以前呢，我们还是要跟各位稍微带一下，就是说我们或许有人会觉得很奇怪了，我们这个糖业铁路为什么用这个762 mm 这个轨距来做这个它的标准？那么事实上呢，各位会觉得奇怪，这个为什么这个零头的762是什么意思？为什么不是别的763、764？为什么不是762？事实上呢，这个我们工业革命呢从英国开始的，英国是最早就是在18世纪就已经是第一次工业革命完毕了。那在这个期间呢，需要大量的这个煤，还有这个石灰石，还有铁矿的运输。所以呢，刚开始的这个矿业的铁路呢，就是从这个马匹开始。那么由于呢，拉这个马车是用2匹马这样来拉，那希望马呢走在这个铁轨的中间，不要走入铁轨外面。所以呢，我们的标准轨距，国际上对标准轨距呢，就拿这个2匹马的屁股那么大小的这个宽度，来造成了这个1435 mm， 这个就是说是我们变成一个标准的轨距。那我们这个糖铁呢，跟我们台铁的轨距也都不一样了。我们糖铁的轨距呢是762 mm， 那么因为这个是英国最早发明火车的嘛，那么这个所有的这个都是用英制的。那我们这个糖铁的762 mm 的轨距呢，事实上是这个30英寸，30英寸，那就是2尺半2尺半的这个轨距。那我们台铁呢是3尺半1.67 mm。因为开始的时候都是用英制，那么后来整个世界上潮流就是把这个公制推为这个度量衡的一个标准，所以呢，我们把它换成公制以后，就会有这些零头跑出来。事实上开始都是英制都是英制。那借这个机会呢，我们跟各位稍微宣导一下我们这个轨距的这个小知识。那么也希望等一下我们在正式的这个 讲演开始以前呢，浪费原谅我浪费一点时间跟各位讲这些。那当然，各位今天来也不是要听我讲啊，当然是要听这远道而来，那把这个这么漂亮的火车带来给我们介绍给我们知道的这个英国的这个火车铁路。那么也希望呢，各位在等下的半个小时的时间里面，能够好好的吸收这个难得的知识谢谢大家。我们欢迎这个安德先生安德先生安德先生，谢谢。
Thank you. So I'm going to tell you the story of a small railway in Wales. From this in 1903 to this in 1960 and this today. Welcome again. My name is Andrew Charman, and it is my pleasure to be here today to tell you about our little railway in Wales. I am one of the Welsh and Lambeth Light Railway's 250 plus active volunteers. I serve as a trustee, a locomotive fireman, and as editor of the Members magazine, among many other things. Right now I'm selling lots of Christmas cards. As you can see from the photos, our railway runs on tea. The Welsh and Lambeth Light Railway is a 760mm gauge railway that runs from the small town of Lambeth to the market town of Welshpool in mid-Wales. Welshpool is only 6.5 kilometres from the border between Wales and England and 290 kilometres from London. When it was built, the railway was 14.5 kilometres, 9 miles long, and today the preserved line runs just under 13 kilometres, 8 miles. The railway was opened in 1903 as one of the first light railways to be built in the UK. Light railways did not require an Act of Parliament and so were cheaper to build. When their routes reached hills, they climbed up them or around them, rather than building expensive cuttings, embankments or tunnels. So the maximum gradient of the Welshpool line is 1 in 29 or 3.4%, and its minimum curve radius 50 metres. Such steep gradients and sharp curves make lines such as the Welshpool more difficult to operate while the speeds are slower. Maximum line speed on the level was 40 kilometres an hour. 24 kilometres on gradients over 2%, and 16 kilometres on the sections that ran through the middle of the streets of Welshpool. Today, the maximum line speed is 24 kilometres an hour. The line was built principally for agriculture. Farmers' produce and livestock was carried from the farms in the valley to Welshpool, where it could be sold in the livestock market adjacent to the line, or transferred to mainline wagons to be sent throughout Britain. Meanwhile, coal, fertiliser and general goods went the other way from Welshpool to Lambeth. 3 passenger carriages were built for the opening to carry local people to and from Welshpool, while the railway also carried timber from the forests in the valley, especially during the First World War. The railway was never very successful. It seldom made much money for the people that operated it. And in 1923 it was taken over by the Great Western Railway. And by 1931 the passenger service had been ended. The elegant carriages had been sent to be scrapped. Thereafter the line continued as a freight only. Nationalisation of the entire UK rail system in 1948 saw the line become part of British Railways, and in 1956 British Railways decided to close it. The last train was a special for the Stevenson Locomotive Society, and because there were no carriages, the members sat on station benches that had been taken from Welshpool Station and put in the freight wagons. But even as the railway closed, enthusiasts were making plans to reopen it. A preservation society was formed, and in 1959, volunteers started clearing the undergrowth from the track. In the following year, the society became a limited company, as it remains today. The members of the company now own the railway. On 6th of April 1963, exactly 60 years after the railway first opened, it reopened as a heritage railway operated by volunteers. And those volunteers have now run the line for more than 55 years, longer than all of its previous operators together. Now, the original line included a section that ran through the streets of Welshpool, as you can see in the top picture. And the town council refused to allow the preservation company to take this section over, arguing that the roads were becoming too busy to allow steam trains to run along them and get in the way. Unfortunately, this meant that the preservation company also lost the workshops and the loco shed, which were at the far end of the town section. The volunteers were forced to base themselves at the other end of the line, at Llanfairpwllgwyngyllgogerychwr, where there was nothing. And in the early years, working conditions for stock maintenance, as you can see in the bottom right there, were very primitive. But over the years, Llanfair has been developed as the railway's operating base. A new workshop and locomotive shed were built, as was an accommodation block for the volunteers working on the line. Today, all the major overhauls are carried out in the workshops. The team can carry out most maintenance required, with only major boiler work or large machining, such as wheel tyres, being contracted out. When the line reopened in 1963, it ran only over half of the route, from Llanfair to Castlecarragnan. The loss of the town section also lost Welshpool Station, and the volunteers could only raise enough money to keep half of the line maintained. But over the years, finances improved, and in 1982, the line was reopened to Welshpool, a new station having been built from scratch in a field on the edge of the town. Even then, for some years, there was not enough money to construct the station building until a suitable wooden building was found at a closed station in South Wales, dismantled, transported plank by plank to Welshpool and rebuilt. Today, most of the railway's passengers start their journey at Welshpool, Raven Square Station. The Welshpool is one of the very few heritage railways to still have both of its original two locomotives in working order. The Earl and the Countess were built in 1902 for the opening of the line and have spent their whole lives working on it. When the railway closed in 1956, they were taken to a works 20 miles away, and the manager put them in the darkest corner of the works, so that no one would notice them and think of scrapping them. Since returning to the railway, they have been the core of services and have been rebuilt more than once over the years. The preservation company has also acquired other locomotives over the years. Not all have been successful, and some have left again. But those on the line today include, at top right, Monarch, an articulated engine built in 1953 for a paper mill in Kent, and today on static display. Södra, which is the one below at the left, was built in France for the German army in 1944. But it never went into service with the army, as it was captured by American forces and then sent to work in Austria. The railway acquired it in 1969, and it has since proved a very powerful locomotive, Currently it is nearing the end of a major overhaul. Number 85, on the bottom right, was built by Hunslet in Leeds in 1954 for the Sierra Leone government railways. The Welsh Line acquired both the loco and carriages from Sierra Leone in 1975, and the loco has since proved very popular amongst the loco crews. But number 85 has not run since 2010 as it needs major boiler work. It is likely to be the next engine to be restored. Of course, you will all no doubt be most interested in our sugar line locomotives, of which we have two. Joan was built in 1927 and spent its working life hauling sugar cane on the Caribbean island of Antigua. The Welsh Railway's vice chairman found it while he was on holiday. It was in a locked shed, and he had to buy a bottle of rum for the local workers before they would break the lock and let him see inside. Once it was returned to the UK, Joan entered service in 1977 after a major rebuild, and worked until 1991, when more heavy repairs became necessary. Another major rebuild saw Joan back in operation in 2011, and it is today part of the working fleet. Anyone connected with Thai sugar will recognise this locomotive. The Dima diesel, built in 1979 as Taiwan Sugar Corporation number 175, was acquired from here in 2004, where it had been working at the Sandhua Sugar Factory in Tainan County, 300 kilometres south of Taipei. Since arriving in Wales, the loco's main use has been as a reliable works diesel. But more recently, it has been fitted with a vacuum braking system, which means it can now work passenger trains if it's needed to, or it can rescue a failed steam loco and its train, because it's that powerful. And then there is Dougal, our smallest steam locomotive. Dougal was built in 1946 for a gasworks in Glasgow, the capital of Scotland. In 1967, the Welsh Railway's general manager bought the loco basically as a plaything. Dougal is far too small to haul the heavy passenger trains on our railway. The engine has proven popular at steam garners and has also visited several other railways, though the trip here to Taiwan is very much the furthest Dougal has ever travelled. When the preservation company took over the railway, it had to find some carriages to carry passengers in. The first ones, at top left, came from a Royal Navy line in the English county of Kent and were very basic vehicles. Today, they are again working in Kent. A major success came in 1968 when a friendship with the Zillertalbahn Railway in Austria resulted in 4 carriages, at top right, being donated to the Welsh Hall. With their open balcony ends, these have ever since proved very popular carriages with our visitors. Equally popular have been the 2 former Hungarian State Railway carriages, below left, which we found in Slovakia. They entered service at Welsh Hall in 2002. They have large windows for viewing the Welsh scenery from, and they also have end balconies, which have recently been extended to make it easier for them to carry passengers in wheelchairs. The railway also has 2 carriages built in Sierra Leone for the Sierra Leone Government Railway. They came to Wales with Loco 85 in 1975. One has been rebuilt to 3rd class, and the other to 1st class, with white leather armchairs, which look very nice but are not very comfortable. Members of the Preservation Company always had a dream to recreate the original carriages that had been scrapped in 1931. As part of the railway's 100th anniversary celebrations in 2003, a replica was built to very high standards by the Ffestiniog Railway in North Wales. The success of this carriage soon resulted in the funds being raised to build 2 more replicas, recreating the original railway's entire passenger stock and enabling the running of authentic vintage trains. Today, the Welsh-Bourne Lambert Light Railway is one of the best-known heritage railways in the United Kingdom. It operates between April and the start of November, as well as at Christmas, and more recently for 2 weeks in February, coinciding with local school holidays. Passenger numbers are rising, 25,000 carried in 2017, and that figure expected to increase this year. Income reached £600,000 in 2017, which is equivalent to approximately 24.1 million Taiwan dollars. The railway's operating days are influenced by school and public holidays and the tourist season. Almost all of the passenger trains are steam-hauled and operated almost entirely by volunteers. Only the duty manager likely to be a member of the paid staff. Similarly, special events, important ways of encouraging visitors to return to the railway, are managed and run by volunteers, with only a few exceptions. These events will continue to grow in importance as the railway's business plan includes an ambitious target of a 55% growth in passenger numbers over the next 10 years. The railway has a very small core of paid staff. Charles, our general manager, at the top right, came to us from a career in the Canadian banking industry, and he started with us as a volunteer. He is supported by Deputy General Manager Kevin, who is never happier than when he's out working on the track, and Mechanical Engineering Manager Richard. An apprentice is also employed in the workshop. There is a part-time administration and marketing person, and during the operating season, seasonal staff in the railway's catering department. The paid staff are important to ensure continuity and that regulations are met. The railway is subject to the same official regulations as high-speed trains on main lines, but virtually all of the operating and maintenance duties are carried out by volunteers. The Preservation Company has more than 2,000 members, of which around 250 are active volunteers regularly working on the railway. Some spend just 2 to 3 weeks each year on the line, others more than 50 days. They work in all areas, on the locomotives, guarding the trains, acting as station masters, maintaining the track, stock and environment, or behind the scenes in administration, marketing, travelling halfway around the world to speak to wonderful people like yourselves. The railway works hard to attract new members, particularly those who want to join the volunteer team. Company members are also successful fundraisers. Donations, grants and legacies are essential to the line's progress. While ticket receipts from travellers will be just enough to finance the train service, without the extra fundraising, the railway could not consider locomotive restorations and other major projects. A typical example of financial demands are the railway's level crossings. These have always been open with no gates, but successive incidents of motorists ignoring signs and colliding with trains have resulted in action needing to be taken. Castle Corinium level crossing was recently upgraded to an automatic crossing with barriers and lights at a cost of £160,000, 6.4 million Taiwan dollars. The railway had to fund all of this cost from its own funds. No grants are available to have such work done. So a major way to keep the visitors coming back to the line and providing more funds is to run a programme of special events. By far the majority of the railway's visitors are not enthusiasts, but families on day trips or tourists, and most events are tailored towards this audience. These include treats for children. Demonstrating very much that this is a family railway, the photo above right shows both my daughter Megan, who is a locomotive crew member like me, and inside the rabbit costume, my son Stuart. Catering trains have been introduced in the last 2 years and have also proved very popular, These and other special events will be expanded in future as they are very important. Enthusiasts are not forgotten. The major event is the Steam Gala, held at the start of September. Over 3 days, the railway runs its busiest timetable, often welcomes a visiting locomotive and adds extra attractions, such as after-dark photographic sessions. The railway's most successful trains, however, are run just before Christmas. The Santa specials are very popular with local children and almost always sell out. Only occasionally, however, are they run through seasonal snow, such as in these pictures. Fundraising remains essential to ensure current work, such as restorations, can continue, and because the railway has major plans for the future. Recently, an opportunity was taken to buy industrial units alongside Lambeth Station, and the space these units offer will allow major expansion. The plans include a bigger workshop, larger catering facilities aiming to serve more visitors at once, and a visitor centre and a museum. Mostly, however, all involved with the Welshpool and Lambeth Light Railway remain focused on just one aim: running steam haul passenger trains through a beautiful part of the Mid Wales countryside. Whoops, seems to have stopped. Obviously stopped to pick up a passenger. Thank you.
我们可以开放一点点这个交流的时间哦，大家不知道有没有什么问题可以跟我们这个来自威尔斯，我觉得这个火车实在是太漂亮了，然后呢，在这么美的这个地方来运营来经营，这个也很不容易。但是我们看到很多都是有很多的志工，他们的大力的协助这样子。那不晓得大家刚刚听了我们的分享，大家有没有什么疑问，或是可以做一些交流的？我们的董事长。
Andrew, thank you for a great presentation. I have a short question for you, out of curiosity. How does your company find there is a chain, a locomotive here in Taiwan actually for sale? How did you learn about that and the history and process of acquiring it?
Our company has members there are a lot of members in Britain, but there are also a lot of members all over the world. And they are constantly on the lookout for new locomotives. You'll probably notice that our locomotives have come from all over the world, from Sierra Leone, from Antigua, and we are quite famous for having such a varied global collection. In the case of Ledema, we had a member that was working in Taiwan, and he saw all of the sugar company's locomotives, and he helped with the negotiations, and the rest was history, as they say.
Thank you. Well, Michael, you want to?
Just to say, he was a British guy working for the high-speed railway at the time.
I thought you were going to ask me a question then, Michael.
还有吗？大家其实不用害怕，其实用中文问问题的话，我们的翻译可以随时来做一个这个传输哈，所以呢很快就可以让大家来询问问题哦，有吗 ？OK。
谢谢 Mr. Shannon。我有一个问题，就是刚刚看到那个火车的车厢是非常的，虽然是窄轨，但是这个车厢是非常的舒适，上面还可以吃这个套餐，还可以喝咖啡哦。那个车厢坐起来好像感觉完全不太会震动哦 ，no any vibration。所以我觉得你们跟刚刚我们从蒜头车站坐过来的这个车厢，感觉震动晃动很厉害。你们是怎么做到？是不是车厢跟车厢之间的接头方式不一样，还是说轨道的平整度不太一样？那台糖的这个车厢能不能将来也打造成类似刚刚在威尔普兰费尔的这个车厢一样那么的舒适？那我们将来也可以改变提供一些可以作为餐车或者是比较舒适的这个车厢来做这个运输。谢谢。
哇，这个问题呢，其实很值得来回应哦。然后一下我们的翻译呢，稍微做一个精准快速的翻译，对，让他来分享。
Yes, in the early days of the preservation company, the ride in the passenger carriages was not very comfortable, mainly because we had passenger carriages that were very basic. They had been used to carry sailors on a military railway in England. Over the years, we have obtained better carriages with proper roller bearings, but the biggest change that has been made is investment in our track. We have spent millions and millions in equivalent of Taiwan dollars in upgrading our track. Every winter we rip up a long section of it and we completely rebuild it. And today we have the best quality track that the railway has ever had. And that makes for a much smoother ride. Yes, if you come to our railway, the ride will be a lot smoother than the ride we had this morning. But here you are riding on carriages that are basically sugarcane wagons with a roof on. So it's to be expected, yes. It was no less fun this morning. I enjoyed my ride very much.
其实是花了非常多的经费还有人力上面当然我们过去应该是说他们花了很多的人力物力跟金钱做这个部分，包含轨道还有车厢的这些重整等等的所以呢可以做这样的一个经验的交流。不过他早上虽然做的稍微大家觉得还是很不错的一个旅程这样子OK， 谢谢。还有其他的问题吗？我们的铁道迷很多有没有？大家对于刚刚我们分享的好这边。
我想好奇的是，想请教你们贵铁道公司有250个志工那请问去那边担任志工有什么样的福利，或者是有什么样的奖赏鼓励的一个方式？谢谢。
Most of our volunteers, the reward for them is getting to play trains. Britain is very famous for its railway enthusiasts, and since the 1950s, railway enthusiasts found that they could take over a railway, and instead of just watching and taking photos, they could actually operate the railway. And that is what most people come to do. When they join us, however, they find that they are with lots of other people who enjoy operating trains. They make lots of new friends. They have a very good social life. I'm very lucky. I live at one end of the railway in the village of Lambert-Carignan. Lambert-Carignan has 3 public houses. Without the railway, especially in the winter, it wouldn't have 3 public houses because they wouldn't have the money that all comes in from the volunteers coming to work on the railway, spending their evenings buying drinks, buying food and having a good time. So it starts off by being a railway enthusiast and wanting to get involved. It carries on by making lots of new friends and having a good time in a very beautiful part of the United Kingdom. I used to live next door to London Airport, London Gatwick Airport. For 11 years I moved to Mid Wales, and I would never move back to where I moved from, because where I live now is a very beautiful part of the United Kingdom.
其实最重要应该是既然热爱了这个火车是这个铁道，而且从英国从1950年代开始，其实铁道迷真的非常非常多，他们就很喜欢这样的社交生活，然后很喜欢交朋友，同时呢真的可以第一线的呢来搭乘火车、开火车等等的，我觉得是志同道合，然后 enjoy， 所以呢基本上没有什么实质的报酬，可是他就是觉得风景漂亮。然后呢，喜欢铁道，然后跟人的志同道合的朋友一起，我觉得那是最大的一个享受的。还有吗？我们最后一点点时间 ，OK。
那刚刚看到这个燃料的燃煤啊，那动力来源好像是一个燃煤的一个这样的概念哈。那我不晓得说这个在这个英国这个部分啊，就是说像这样的一个动态的这个保持部分啊。跟现在的这个环境保护的这样的一个法令的规范啊，就是说有没有一个就这样的燃煤的一个情况，有没有一个法规上的一个排除规定啊？就是说事实上如果超过这样的一个环境保护的一个标准的话，针对这样的一个燃煤的一个环境污染啊，是不是针对类似这样的一个不同的一个燃煤的一个规定啊，有一个比较排除性的规定，或者是例外的规定。
There are clean air acts in the United Kingdom that govern fossil fuel burning and the amount of smoke and pollution it makes. There is nothing specifically excluding heritage railways from running coal-fired trains. All of the heritage railways in Britain, and there are many, burning all of their coal together would be far less than one power station, and we still have several coal-fired power stations in the United Kingdom. Having said that, we are always concerned about clean air, and you would have noticed in the video right at the end, you hardly ever saw any smoke, despite the fact that all our engines are coal-fired, because our locomotive crews are trained very strongly to make as little smoke as possible and to be as efficient as possible. Because with a steam engine on coal, if you fire it efficiently, it doesn't need to make big, thick, black smoke. It can be thin, white smoke that looks a lot better and is much better for the environment. And we are always working very hard to be as ecologically sound as we can.
OK， 那么刚刚听到翻译，其实并没有特别的法规的限制，可是对于这些属于保护性资产的这些火车头，其实应该是他们这么多量在燃烧的煤，其实完全比不过一座这个煤气就是这个燃煤发电的这个电厂所燃烧的这个量，所以呢，目前来说应该是还算是可以，并没有法规的这些违反的事项哈。好，那么接着呢，我们的时间来到了10点40分。那么我们在这个阶段，第一个阶段的 Part 1就特别来谢谢我们的康门先生，谢谢他们。